graffiti's called upon to reveal the truth in the form of a sentence creation. A canvas blank sprawled across urban streets and pavement. Graffiti artists on rooftops, tagging, contemplating, painting, abandoned building basement. Some niggas will go through a lot of stuff just to get their throwies up. Builders with 100-foot roller pieces. Niggas brave as fuck, holding on to scaffolds with fingertips like, yo, when I finish this, I'm done for the weekend. Real graph artists paint while they sleeping. They dream about painting, they paint while they dreaming. Multiple colors cover my fingertips for weeks. 24/7, I'm crushing the streets, crushing no sleep. Russell cans clanking in my backpack. Pink and yellow dots in my pocket. Skinny in New York fat caps. Real niggas get up, so take a step up. You up next, WSK, we don't give a fuck.
Yo, if you an MC, then raise your mic like a torch. You break dance.
Scan 1, Arts Crew. I'm originally from the Santa Cruz area. Well, I've been painting for probably the last 4 or 5 years, seriously. I grew up in the Santa Cruz area, so there was a lot of people to look up to. One of the people I say was probably influencing me a lot was probably Clown from CBS Tits. He was always doing some real good stuff. Of course, he had Muse, the whole Tits crew. They were all, you know, great people to look up to. Then I started heading out more towards the South Bay. And I started following a little more of the arts of, say, like the people from DTC. For example, Crete, Dyer, Chris, there's a lot that they have. Sweff was probably one of the first people that really helped me out when I was first starting off in the game. You know, he was a little more experienced than me, and he had really good characters and, you know, good letter structure, good pieces. You know, I've been all up on the map, besides locally in Santa Cruz, Oakland, San Francisco. Lately I've been making trips out to LA area, you know, San Diego. I actually just went over the border and painted a production across the street from Papa's and Beer in Rosarito, another parking garage. I painted in Ensenada over there. This cat, Cesso from Lit Crew, he's the one that actually hooked up all the stuff. So I just went with him and we went on a pretty big little tour. So I'm just recuperating from that. Well, first off, of course, I love women and I love graffiti, so you put the two together, and that's how it all started. I had a few girls locally just kind of hit me up, and I just did a couple, you know, burners on them, and next thing you know, I'm getting calls from guys that are working in magazines, and I just painted this really hot Asian model, and I did this thing all across her whole thigh, and that's probably gonna come out in a magazine here real soon. I like to see a lot of these new generation kids. There's a lot of youngsters out there, and they, you know, they're really coming up in the game. There's, you know, a lot of talent that's still out there. You just got to get out there. You got to push yourself. You got to make sure you go as hard as you can every time you go to the wall. This is Scan 1, Arts Crew.